Okay, now it's time to get into the main portion of your lessons. We're going to talk about the first two of the four major chords that you'll need to know to play the praise and worship songs. The first two we're going to learn are the G and the C chord. Many songs you hear on the radio will start out with the G and C. This is kind of your home base. You'll always go back to these. Often when I first pick up the guitar, I'll go straight to a G chord. To form these chords, at this point, remember, our guitar is tuned, we're ready to play. You're going to take your pinky finger and your ring finger and put on the bottom two strings of the third fret. So bottom two strings, remember we count from the bottom up, 1, 2. So the bottom two strings of the third fret with your pinky finger and ring finger. With your first finger and middle finger, your first finger is going on the fifth string, second fret, and your middle finger is going on the top string, third fret. So it forms a chord that looks like this. And you're going to strum all 6 strings straight down. So there's your G chord. Again, these two fingers, bottom two strings, first finger, fifth string, second fret, middle finger, top string, third fret. And it's all 6 down. So this is a chord you really want to get comfortable with. So as long as it takes to practice this, keep practicing it so you can get really familiar with this one. Do it when you're practicing, practice with a 4-count beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to go from our G chord to our C chord. They are very similar. The only thing you're doing different is you're moving your top two fingers down a string. So instead of the 5th, you're going to the 4th. Instead of the 6th, you're going to the 5th. And instead of playing all 6 strings, you're leaving the top one open. You're playing just the bottom 5. So it's like this. There's your C chord. So remember, you still got the bottom two strings pressed to the 3rd fret, your 4th string, 2nd fret, and your 5th string. That's your C chord. So let's go back to G. Remember, keep these two right here planted and go back up. G, down to C. Back up to G. Down to C. G. C. One key practice note you always want to remember, it's always best to start out strumming slow. For beginners, the strumming is going to be one of the biggest challenges you'll face at the first part. But a lot of times you'll find beginners, they want to get going too fast, and the key is go really slow with a steady rhythm. So let's start out again with the G chord. G chord to C, G, So you can see the only two fingers I'm moving are my first and middle finger. Back and forth, up and down. So there's your first two chords, your G and C chord. Next we'll go over the D and E minor.